Hello everyone, TMMgamer here, and today I have the pleasure of bringing you a very short but very useful tutorial where I go over how to score goals against goalkeeper charges. And goalkeeper charging is one of the real cheesy tactics in FIFA. You see this all the time. People just completely bull rush their goalkeeper out, sometimes as far as 25 yards out, and because it catches you by surprise and they are in your face quite quickly, it's often very difficult to finish around them. So what this tutorial is going to do is show you one very easy technique that's completely new to this tactic. So let's get right onto the tutorial. Now, the first thing you've really got to focus on when thinking about this technique is recognising when your opposition keeper is going to be charging out, because you tend to find that there are players who do this technique regularly throughout the entirety of the game. So your very first chance on goal, you'll see the keeper come absolutely charging out and the guy won't deviate from that tactic for the entire game. Now, there are two really easy ways to tell if the opponent you're playing against is a keeper charger. The first one, like I said there, is just to wait until your first chance goes through and see what happens. If the keeper charges out, then you know. But another really good way that I use is continuously check the radar, especially when you've got the ball, because what you find some people do is they repeatedly tap triangle when they're on defence, and what this does is it keeps their goalkeeper just outside the penalty area or on the edge of the penalty area. And what this means is when the ball does get played through, they're already in a position to try and swoop out and get the ball. So those are the two easiest ways to find out when you're up against a keeper charger. But as you can see from this still image here, you can see at this point with the keeper just on the right hand side of the screen, he's already running out to close me down. And the key thing about using this technique that I'm just about to show you is early recognition. You want to know as soon as possible when or if that goalkeeper is going to be charging into your face. So that's the real important thing. Make sure that you know very early on, before you take the shot on, whether the keeper's going to be on his goal line or he's going to be in your face. Now, as soon as you've realised that your opponent's goalkeeper is charging out, the most important thing about your shooting is to shoot early, because as you can see from the still image here, I've pressed the shoot button by this point and the goalkeeper is still running at me, and that's the main thing. You want to shoot as early as possible so you can stop the keeper from either getting up to you to make the challenge or to stop him from getting a nice solid base for him to make the dive. Because what you're looking to do is get the ball past him before he can react, and that's the best counter for a goalkeeper charge, because they only do it to narrow the angle to make it more difficult for you to score. But if you can get the shot away fast enough, you completely take the goalkeeper out of the equation, because as long as you don't hit him, he's not going to be able to have enough reaction time to save it. So as you can see from this still image here, I have already powered up my shot, and my striker, in this case Jakub Blaszczykowski, is about to shoot and put the ball around the goalkeeper. So you can see that just after I've hit shoot and my player is just about to strike the ball, the goalkeeper is still running towards me, and this is the real key part of the tip. But when you are shooting, it's important to not just bladder the ball at the guy. You're not trying to hit it so hard that you try and take the net off the goal. What you're trying to do is just get the ball past the goalkeeper as fast as possible without missing the target. And the great way to do this is with the finesse shot, because finesse shooting is not as precise as it was in FIFA 10, FIFA 11, FIFA 12. You know, finesse shooting has gradually got weaker and weaker. But this is one position and one opportunity where finesse shooting is undoubtedly the best technique, because if you have a look at the screen here, I'm still quite a long way from goal, so it's going to take a very precise lob for me to score, because the lob's trajectory is very high, so it would probably entail the ball bouncing once and the ball might hit the floor and bounce over the bar, or the trajectory and the speed might be so slow that the goalkeeper or defender can run back and hook the ball off the line. So in this situation, what I would recommend you to do is finesse it round him, because like I said earlier, all you've got to do is get the ball past him. You don't even have to be that precise. As long as the ball's on target, because the guy's charged out so far, you're gonna score. So what I recommend to do is just aim for either the right half or the left half of the goal, depending what side foot your striker is. So Blaszczykowski's a right-footed player, so I'm going to aim for the right-hand side of the goal here because he's ran on at that nice 45-degree angle to enable me to finesse it around the goalkeeper. But what you need to be careful of is trying to be too precise. You see a lot of people, and I've made this mistake before myself, when they see a goalkeeper charge, they immediately go for the corner and try and finesse an absolutely perfect finish into the bottom corner. So you've got to be quite wary of that happening. But the great thing is, because the goalkeeper's charged out so far, you've got an absolutely huge margin for error. As long as you don't miss the target and as long as you don't hit the goalkeeper in the face with your shot, you're going to score because he has no chance of reacting quick enough. And as you can see here, as the clip runs forward, all I have to do is just dink it round him. The goalkeeper's so close to me that he doesn't have the reaction time to be able to put his hands on the ball. So when you're in this position, all you need to do is just make sure you get your shot on target, because 99 times out of 100, the goalkeeper's not going to get anywhere near it. And even if the goalkeeper does get hands on the ball, because he's so close, the chances are all it's going to do is bobble off him, and then most of the time it'll bobble straight back to you and you can put it into an open goal. But the most important technique in this tutorial is just getting your shot off nice and early. Make sure that once you've identified the goalkeeper's charging, you position yourself very, very quickly, so when the keeper's beginning to get a little bit too close, you can just hit the finesse around him, because the last thing you want to do in this situation is get the ball muddled underneath your feet, giving the keeper that extra half a second to get right in your face, and then that's when it becomes difficult to get the ball round him. But as you can see here, if you wait until the keeper's about 7, 8, 9 meters away from you and you just finesse it round him, you are going to score so many times. And I really want this technique to be driven out of FIFA because it is so cheap, so newbie, and a lot of players don't have a way to deal with it. But if you're through one-on-one and you see a guy doing this, you can just finesse the ball round him, and I guarantee once it's failed for him 2 or 3 times, he's going to stop doing it. So guys, this is the end of the tutorial. I really hope you've enjoyed it. It's nice and simple, but a much requested technique. I've had a lot of people message me saying, how do I do this? So I hope you guys have learned something. But guys, once again, thank you so much for watching the video. If you've enjoyed it, it would make a big difference to the channel if you could click like or favourite or rate the video, because like I've explained before, that helps it get higher up in the YouTube search, more people can find it, and if more people can find it, hopefully more people can benefit. But once again guys, thank you so much for watching and have a great day.